Cool kids. This is a video that's been a long time coming, but I just haven't, had the time to really make it. Got a couple extra days off due to the holidays, so we are in like planned. So what we're going to do, this is going to be an extra long video. Yeah. We're going to compare the original Blacklist miniatures, right, with the hold on. Good God. WILDSPIRE barely fits in the box. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Got it. All right. We're going to compare Blacklist miniatures, the game that screwed us all out of our money, especially if you live in the U.S., run by Alex Lim, versus WILDSPIRE, which is the good company that went out of their way to make sure those of us that backed the garbage company, Blacklist Miniatures, got our stuff, right? And so this is, well, pan out here so you guys can see it. The difference in production value is quite astounding, though. But I'm just trying to be fair and do pros and cons here. Yeah. Quite. Yeah. Door pack. There's a door pack, apparently. And a scenery pack. All right. So, not sure what that's about. Huh. All right. That can go over here. We'll open all this up, though, I guess. Well, I mean, we know what doors and scenery look like. But all right. What else is in here? Okay. So, the original Kickstarter, which I shouldn't have a copy of, except it went on deep discount on Amazon.com. Came with the original Fantasy Series 1, as denoted here. All right, there you go. Fantasy Series 1. The pack, Jack. All right. And this is, yes, Fantasy Series 1. So, Blacklist Games put this out. Very nice. Go Blacklist. Right? Looks great. Here's the problem. Nobody got it. If you weren't in Europe, you didn't get it. If you were in Europe, you got it. And you were making videos on YouTube. Not to blame those cats. They were making videos on YouTube, so I thought it was a given. So I backed Fantasy Series 2 because I was like, oh, those look good. Guess what? No one in the U.S. got their stuff. Luckily, the distributor, the warehouse, contacted as many of the people as they could, but it was all ate up. And Blacklist, yeah, not for 1 second did they ever even pretend like all was, bad, or that they owed anybody anything. Now, this is where it gets really bad. They got another couple mil after that for Fantasy Series 2, and they decided, survey says, that they weren't doing boo with any of that cash. Nothing. They didn't give us nothing. They raised 1.6 million or 1.3 million plus, late backing. I mean, yeah, and other projects, and they gave nothing. They didn't even give us a damn book. Guy said if we wanted the book, we had to give him another 100-something thousand. But in the same breath, he was telling us the problems with Fantasy Series 1 should not affect Fantasy Series 2 because we're going to be paying out of different pools. Anyway, guys, his name's Alex Lim. If you happen upon him, let him know how you feel about him. I know I would if I knew where he was. I'd give him a few thoughts, just kind words. I'm not trying to tell you guys to do anything, but say hello, in a kind and gentle way. Because that's the kind of people we are. We are loving, forgiving, and understanding, aren't we? Now, back to the point. The production value, let's look at this so you can really see, is quite astounding compared to the offerings of WILDSPIRE, which are somewhat less fun to look at, the packaging, right? But let's check the miniatures. And so this is an official opening, and this is geared towards WILDSPIRE. I don't know if I'm going to bother opening this, but this is already open. So this will give us a good example of the Blacklist games and the quality of miniatures that they present. I'm going to put the miniatures right here where the cat is walking so we can actually focus on the miniatures themselves. And like I said, this is probably going to be a long video. Might as well plug in my charger. Oh, wait, I can't because I got the mic on. Well, we'll see how it goes, guys. Oh, my. We'll have to move faster than I thought. Maybe we won't go through all of them. Maybe we'll just pick select minis. First thing I want to show you is the minis come in these lovely display cases. Let me back out here. Lovely display cases for you, so you can see that. And that's pretty cool, right? There are several of these packs in the box. So that's why the box is so big. Three of those packs. The final one is just a really big one, big chunky thing there. Okay, and that's got all your huge and large miniatures in it, right? These are mostly medium. All right. Now, because I backed Fantasy Series 1 and Fantasy Series 2, I will have those models in both packages to share with you, and we can compare the sculpts of the WILDSPIRE versus the sculpts of the Blacklist games stuff. So I'm going to have to open this box to show it to you. This is Fantasy Series 1. Classic Fantasy 1 is what they're calling it. They had to rename it, I should imagine. And that is going to require an opening. So let me open this. I'll pause it. All right, here we go. The box is open. Here's what I found inside. So you guys are seeing this at the same time I do. It's got a listing of what all the miniatures are. Okay. Ooh. Let's see here. Acid Elemental. That is a bonus mini, by the way, the Acid Elemental. You don't get that in the Blacklist games thing, but what you do get is a lot fewer miniatures. And they aren't in the fun holders. But I would argue these holders are a bad thing simply because if you painted these minis, and the act of taking them in and out of those holders is going to cause you problems. Now, we're going to compare like minis real quick and see who did it better. And then we're going to open up Fantasy Series 2. And these are the minis I've never seen. These are the ones that I backed. I backed Fantasy Series 2, and I also got the delicious book and adventure, what's the word I'm looking for? Rule book, the actual game, which I will never see. Yeah. All right. So right off the bat, we're just going to go with the big one here. The big boy. Okay, let's see if we can spin him around. Oh, you know what? I just bought bought's not the word. I got it for free. I just got something that's perfect for this. Oh, boy. Just today at the county market, I got this for free. It's a stirrer for whiskey. But it's going to be perfect for our purposes today, which is showing you what the mini looks like. Ooh, isn't that exciting? Now, I'm going to pull out the Blacklist Games version, and we're going to look for any differences, discrepancies, or divisiveness. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's look. All right. The color is a little different. I will say that right off the bat. I noticed the color is different. Let's really zoom in here. Okay. Other than that, I don't see any major differences. Let's come a little closer here. I'll pan out the shot so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, nothing major to report here. The WILDSPIRE game and Blacklist game minis are the same size. Actually, yeah, the bases are the same size. Everything appears to be the same. So not a lot. This will stab you, by the way. These got some spikiness to them. They will stab you. So be careful, guys. I don't want anybody to get hurt. So right off the bat, we're looking pretty good here. I just happened to grab that because it was the first one I saw. It's the big, star of the show. I'm probably messing up, but I wanted to get to the Fantasy Series 2 stuff. So we'll see what else we can find here that we can compare more easily. All right, now, like I said, these are just sitting loosey-goosey in the box. We can compare the Giantess. To the Giantess. Okay, this is Blacklist. This is WILDSPIRE. The Blacklist tends to run a little darker on the color, which would cause some diffuse lighting issues, which might make it seem like there's a difference in the detail. But I can tell you there is no major differences. They are, upon close inspection, I would argue these are identical models with identical details, and for the price points we got them at, we got a hell of a deal, guys. I gotta tell you, because this kind of miniature from other companies, I'm not going to name any names, would be probably at least $10. At least $10. Probably more than that. Minimum of $10. And that's being like conservative. It could be as much as $20 for one of these. Now I don't know that those would pop off the shelves, mind you, but so now everything's in bags, and this is very reminiscent of next level miniatures. They tend to package in this way. It's interesting to me that our friends at Blacklist Games didn't think to maybe bag some stuff up instead of the fancy production value. I don't know, but Blacklist Games, I guess they didn't think that far ahead, or they'd still be in business. Now, one interesting thing that WILDSPIRE is doing is they are putting things in groupings. So this is clearly all water, or at least the plastic, right? Yeah. So this is going to be an undead, or is this a sylph? I don't know. Let's look. Could be a ghost, or it could be, like I said, a sylph. They're looking ominous and undead to me. So I'm going to go with these are ghosts, but the reason that they're put in the same package as the water elemental is because they're made of the same plastic. So that's, at least they're, kind of keeping things separated by some metric, some sort of organization. Well, it looks to me, like they're identical. I'm not seeing any big differences, anything to poo-poo on this. So good job, WILDSPIRE. You didn't lower the quality. You don't have as nice a packaging, but guess what? At least you deliver. So, and timely, in a timely manner. All right. So there you go. There's fire. And here's our green guys. These are going to be oozes and slimes and tentacles and Our acid elemental, right? Could be a chlorine elemental. If you ever read Order of the Stick, you might get a giggle out of that. Any Oots fans out there, tell me in the comments. If you haven't read Order of the Stick, I suggest doing it. It's never too late. It's online comic, so it's free to read. All right. Okay, so yeah, these are the same minis for all intents and purposes. So you get a lot fewer minis. Instead of 5 on the little guys, you only get 4. So that adds up really quick when you look, right? Instead of 5 harpies, you get 4. Instead of 5 orcs, you get 4. Instead of 5 ghouls, you get 4. Well, every category is going to drop you a mini count, right? So you're getting, dozens less minis because there's dozens of sculpts, right? With, yeah. All right. I don't know if I saw that guy in there, but maybe they are in there. I don't know. I guess I should look. That way I don't give this the green light for you guys, and then let's see if that mail is in that bag. Oh, there's our dude. So yeah, it's right. The pod is right. Oddly enough, the Blacklist Games minis are actually lighter in color, whereas the WILDSPIRE are darker. Can we focus on what I want to focus on? There we go. So I will pull out the Blacklist Games mini, and we will compare and contrast. Blacklist, WILDSPIRE. And I would say the exact same mold was used for both minis. They both lean forward at the same angle and might need a little heat up to fix that if you care about that sort of thing. But let's really test it by putting the WILDSPIRE mini into this holder. If it fits, well, look at that. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Very good. Very good. All right, cool. So you can kind of see that, yeah, Blacklist Games was making a quality product. The problem is no one got it. Literally, no one got this. The reason I was able to buy it at, I think I paid like $40 for all this. Might have been 20. I can't remember. It was cheap. Is because Blacklist Games never paid. And then finally that distributor, they got tired of trying to get a hold of everyone. So they finally gave up and they finally just sold what they had left in the warehouse. This is somebody's pledge. Somebody got screwed by me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I bought this and you didn't get it. And you know why you didn't get it? Because Blacklist Games screwed you. And then that distributor, they gave it to me. They gave it to Amazon, and then Amazon gave it to me because I was on it. So yeah. I happened to catch it because I was in a Facebook group, if I remember right, that was talking about it, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna grab one. I hope all you guys got one while the getting was good. It didn't last very long. I'll tell you that. They undersold them. They could have got more than what they got. But I had backed this. That's why, I feel awful for whoever didn't get their pledge. But on the other hand, I backed this and I didn't get nothing. I got nothing for my dollars. Blacklist Games can kiss my rosy red Heineken. We'll keep it G-rated for you cool kids. Yeah, they can kiss my rosy red Heineken. All right, so that's on. This is Fantasy Series 1. As you can tell, they're the exact same dice. But because Blacklist Games never made Fantasy Series 2, We should probably explore that too, shouldn't we? See what we got there. That's where the questions are, because everybody's already had this stuff for since 2020. Three, I think. 2023? Somewhere in there. The Fantasy Series 1 stuff. But the Fantasy Series 2, this is hot off the presses. Now, I backed this campaign. And Blacklist Games sent me nothing. Not a thing. And then told us that they needed another $100,000 to give us our book. Just a book. The book that goes with, not the minis. No minis. F you on the minis. Just a book. Alex Lim is a sleazeball. He's not, and this isn't the first time he's done this to backers. He's had several Kickstarters where he's a sleazeball, guys. If you ever see somebody working with this guy, he uses different names. Yeah, he's a real scumbag. Yeah. Yeah, hey, bring it. Sue me, buddy. Sue me. Yeah. This guy is a worm. He's a pathetic worm. He's not even a man. He's half a man. I'll put him to the Pepsi challenge any day of the week. Any day of the week. Little slug. Yeah, I got no, it's like, I understand. There's people that they try to kickstart something and it doesn't work out, and they at least try. They didn't try. They did nothing. This slug did nothing. At least WILDSPIRE gave us the STLs for free. They gave us a discounted price. Good for you, WILDSPIRE. That's good faith. You're building good faith. This is WILDSPIRE, by the way. They're a good company. Blacklist Games, garbage, slugs, scumbags, losers, loser of the week. If you see Alex Lim's name attached to anything, run away. That's my recommendation. So here we go. Now, I've noticed a big difference right away between Fantasy Series 1, Classic Fantasy 1, and Classic Fantasy 2. And that is that they put a book in Classic Fantasy 2. And they right up front, they put our Acid Elemental. They've got 5th edition stat blocks on these. Here's our dragon. It's a brass dragon, according to them. And that's fine. You could use it for a number of different dragons. It might work for a green as well. A little big, but could be a really old one. Here's an Ancient Dweller. Ancient Dweller are, could be one of the Star Spawn, right? So this is a huge aberration. They're saying it's a Mind Flayer. I'd say it's probably more of a Star Spawn, but you can use these stats, whatever you want. It's their game. You can do their thing, and you can use the same mini for different creatures. I would have went with Star Spawn on that. I don't believe that's trademarked because it's HP Lovecraft stuff, and that's why they're able to make these minis. Yeah, so. They got all the creatures, though. They got the creatures from Series 1, Series 2. You can get cats. Now, this video is actually a response to Blanco. It's a channel that's really good. I recommend them. I'm going to put them in the description so you guys can check them out. But, yeah, the guy's really, really on his... he painted one of these, as a matter of fact. I haven't paid nothing, guys. This is an opening video. He's way more organized than me. He's way better at this interface, the editing and all that. I just kind of make my videos on the fly. That's why there's 3,000 videos and like 2,000 subscribers, right? Some people, I'm not to their taste. They like a little more refined product. So you get the idea here, guys. These are stats. It's interesting they have goblins on here because I would imagine the player's handbook has goblins. But, they could have called it the Goblin Scout. But it's whatever. I mean, at least they're giving you something. We didn't pay for this. They did this. So this is free. This is literally, all you had to do was back, and you got this. No additional fees or charges. And look, I guess there's 2 listings for Hobgoblin. No, Bugbear's what I saw earlier, yeah. Okay, got it. Here's the Hydra, a huge monstrosity with 172 hit points. We got mimics. We got minotaurs. We got water elementals. We got it all, guys. And it's all exactly looking like your miniature that you got. And it doesn't matter if you got it in WILDSPIRE's offering, or if you happen to be one of the lucky Europeans who got Blacklist Games version of Fantasy Series 1. They're the same minis. All right, so now with no further ado, we're going to get into the minis offered. Again, it's a hodgepodge of loose and bagged items, which, saves them money, makes it more efficient operation. All right, so right off we got a frost giant. Frost giants are fun. And a cyclops. Very cool. Here's a chimera. It's a little small, but that's okay. That's okay. I've seen smaller. I've seen bigger. Ha! Ha ha ha! I do want to pull out a frost giant from WizKids real quick to kind of give us a scale comparison here. Okay, so this is the D&D Attack Wing game. I was able to get a bunch of these on deep discount. Yeah. And as you can see, they do scale pretty nicely. Fairly nice scaling. Yeah, these two could be brothers. Our mini here's a little bigger, actually. But not so much bigger that they couldn't hang out and party together. So there's that. Now, the difference being this one comes painted. I got that for like $6, though. I mean, for $6, I thought it was a heck of a good deal. Never played the game, but I do have everything you need to play the game, which is hilarious. It's just never. My game group likes co-op games, not tactical fighting games, and some of them don't even like competition at all. They're more into I don't know, playing grab-ass games, which is fine. Role-playing is generally all we ever do. But these are here purchased to help us do that. And these are all paintable, guys. These can be painted. All right. Moving right along. Hydra, the aforementioned Hydra. And we'll look at that. It's a very nice mini. You got some mold lines here. This can be filled very easily, though. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. The details are a little muddled. That's not great, but that's on Blacklist Games. But you could do a lot worse. And for the money, you can't beat it. So, but yeah, the muddling here, not the best on that tail, but the head is good. The heads are pretty good. There's some good details to catch with your dry brushing. If you're wanting to do a hardcore paint job, you really don't have the details here. You'd have to let the paint do the work. It'd be a lot of work to make this, a gangbuster mini. But for tabletop, it's awesome. For the price, it's amazing. Okay, this thing has a lot of character, I will say. As far as ints go, it's a little on the small side, but that's okay. You can tell it's an ant or a tree ant. You could almost say it's sinister looking, but it doesn't have to be. The forest is neutral. It doesn't necessarily care about aesthetics so much as function, right? Oh, yes. We got a wrapped deal here. Wrapped up. Here's our star spawn. Or what were they calling it? Something else. They called it something else. I guess we can open this up. There's a Yeti in here. There's a griffin. A giant scorpion. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was all put together. It's two different holders. So it kind of has to go exactly the way it is back in there. There's an ogre, a minotaur, a yeti, manicore. It's a manicore, not a giant scorpion. Okay. I guess we can break out the. Now, to me, this Griffin style is very Whiz Kids, reminiscent of Whiz Kids style. I do have some painted Griffins somewhere to kind of scale it. Let's see here. Well, I have the attack wing Griffin, but the WizKid scale is always funky, I think. Oh, you know what? I have something even better. We'll pull both. Okay, guys. So the attack wing Griffin is on the smallish side. Definitely smallish. But here's a pre-painted elf riding a Griffin. And that scales up pretty good. So, all right. Let me pause it. Okay. Here's some Griffins I painted. So, like I said, the Whiz Kids tend to run a little smallish. But you can see why I say this is a very Whiz Kids-esque sculpt. It's very similar in manner. Even the tails go in the same direction. Wings, right? The head's a little different shape, but they are sauntering off in the same direction. All right. This is a slightly larger one, but they could be in the same flock. He could be a little tenacious guy. This is the Reaper Griffin. And again, they can probably be in the same flight of Griffins. You start to get a little unbelievable when you go from the Whiz Kids to the Reaper. So this one's a nice in between. There you are. And really, it is kind of right in between Whiz Kids and Reaper on the Griffin. Griffin time. Okay. So, we'll need to paint one of these, huh? That's what I'm hearing. Very good. Let's look at our star spawn. Okay. There we go. Our mighty star spawn. Now, they called it something else. What did they call it? Oh, gosh. We'll have to find that book. Where did I set it? Ah, here you are. They called it something else. They called it the Ancient Dweller. The Ancient Dweller. So there you go. It's alien from the homeworld of the Illithids. So that's what they're calling it. Illithids are very eldritch, very Lovecraftian, very. They would fit right in with these guys. So there you go. I totally get why they would put that in the lore. Here we go. Here's how he stacks compared to the Treant and the Frost Giant. We'll put the Cyclops in there for comparison. So yeah, definitely a cool star spawn, man. Very cool. Very cool. Like it. I like it. All right. So we'll put those up. You guys don't need to see every little miniature, guys. If there's one you want to see in particular, let me know in the comments. This looks a lot like the WizKids crocodile. Yeah. Or the Reaper one. The Reaper has one too. But sometimes you just feel like a little kid playing with their dolls, don't you? Yeah, it's pretty neat. All right. Yeah, this has to go this way. Nope, that ain't it. All right, let's try this a different way. I'll pause it while I stuff everything back in the box. You know what? First, let's look at the bugbear. Or the owlbear, not bugbear. Owlbear. Let's compare it to a few owlbears. So I don't know what the plan is with these guys as far as distributing this stuff, because they are selling these minis, but they're not in the Kickstarter packs. They're in totally different packs. So they've kind of changed the whole deal, kind of making it their own. So here we go. WizKids, WILDSPIRE, Fantasy Series 2 from Blacklist Games. This is the Reaper Black, Reaper Bones Black. And this, I forget the company that made this, but it's a cool one. Hold on. It was made by Wizards, so. But there's a name for these, and I can't remember the name of the company. Darn it. It's been a while. But yeah, this came with a paint pack. So I used the paints in the pack to paint the miniature. And there you go. So how's it fit in? I mean, it's a little on the smaller side, but not too bad. Yeah, it's fine. It's a fine owlbear. It fits right in the pack, I would say. But what do you think, cool kids? Let me know in the comments. How does our friend here fit in with the other owlbears? It seems to be more in the Reaper size than the WizKids. So this is a place where the WizKids actually make their owlbears quite bulky, which is a good thing. Bulky is fun, unless you're storing a bunch of them, right? Raw. Okay. Anyway, so there's our owlbear comparisons. Anyway, back to my earlier point. If Alex really, really felt bad or any sense of shame, he would have offered those STLs to all the backers absolutely free, just like WILDSPIRE did. No one had to tell WILDSPIRE to do that. They just did it. Savvy. So, I mean, I don't know what those cats were thinking. I don't care. They're persona non grata to me. Anybody associated with that crap, honestly, it's just unacceptable. What went on? They didn't even try. That's the thing. They didn't even try. They could have gave us, a smaller number of minis. They could have done any number of things, but instead they decided to screw us and take millions of dollars that they didn't earn. They didn't earn it. And Kickstarter, you know what they did? Nothing. Nothing. They did nothing. And that's the main thing. That's why when I'm doing crowdfunding now, after this Blacklist Games I dealt with Lazy Squire Games. Peterson Games got me the worst. So, at least WILDSPIRE's out there making stuff happen, guys. So some of these companies, they're going to rise to the top. Even Coolmon is done, or looks to be done in the near future. So, I mean, it is rough out there. But there's no excuses for the Alex Lims of the world. You know, at least Coolmon did what they could to get people their stuff. You know, you gotta give credit where credit's due. I can't give Alex Lim and Blacklist Games any credit for anything. All they gave out was a PDF of an unfinished gaming system. That's what you got for. I paid 200 something bucks for that. Yeah, not real good. And then I had to pay another 135 bucks for WILDSPIRE to, you know, get me my stuff. But at least I got it. So when you do the math, I'm not way up ahead on these minis at all. But you know, they're pretty good. This looks like some sort of monk. Um, and yeah, another monk. So there's a male and female monk. And yeah, these are just your different heroes that you would have got. Now, if you guys want to see a particular mini, like I said, let me know. I'm not going to make this video 3 hours long looking at every dang mini. But thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Like, share, and subscribe. The more I think about this Alex Lim guy, you know, I think about the fraud he perpetrated on all those people, thousands and thousands of people, you know, and not just in that Kickstarter. He did, I mean, everybody dirty. Everybody got done dirty. And, you know, it's like, how do you sleep at night when you're that person? When you're that person, you knew, listen, same thing for Peterson Games, okay? You know, everybody makes excuses for them. I got no excuses for them. I don't. They lied to us too many times. Too many lies were told. You know, and then, well, it was honorable to try to keep everybody at the company as long as we could. No, it was not honorable because you were dishonoring your backers. And I'm on the hook from them. Oh gosh, let's see. They never finished up Cthulhu Wars Onslaught 4. It's never been finished. They never made right on that. Some people, Europe and Canada, a lot of people never got their stuff. There's people from Onslaught 3 who haven't got their stuff. They never made right on so many things. I could go on, but I backed like 4 or 5 more games from them that I'm never going to see. I'm never going to see them. They highly rated games. I got that Hyperspace standee garbage. Hasn't even been played yet. No one's excited to play it. Because I'm like, hey, you guys want to try that? I waited for 6 years to get that game. And they're like, we just ain't feeling it. They ain't feeling it. Nobody's feeling it. So if you played Hyperspace, let me know. I know it's gotten off topic here. I'm trying to get it to my table, but they ain't feeling it. So I want you guys to have an amazing day. I want to thank you for watching. I want you to find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake. If you can't find them, don't blame me. I'm trying to show them to you. I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe, all that jive, and try to stay alive while we thrive. And catch you on the next one. Take care.